averaging 7.4 points per game, and Perry Hartle, 5'9" junior, averaging 8.3. The Dons are coached by Ron Wilczek. He's assisted by Steve Van Wy and Greg Brown. Columbus 5-3 overall and 1-3 in the South Division of the Marywood Conference. And the officials for tonight's game, as assigned by the Marywood Conference, Marv Anderson and Mike Brzezinski. Dons in white and the Wildcats in green. Play is underway. Opening tip to Columbus. And the Dons in front court to our left. Edgar opens in a half-court man-to-man defense, and we have a foul immediately. And it looks like a moving screen. And it appears to be on Chris Manlick. Nope, it's on Willie Deeringer. Willie Deeringer gets his first foul. First team foul. The Dons turned the ball over on their first possession. Edgar inbounding in backcourt. The Dons applying pressure. Shea Lehman has the basketball, harassed by Pat Meyer. Lobs to Michael Miller. He'll come across the 10-second line to the far wing. Pass in the lane, Mrzinski. Turns to the dotted line. Off-balance shot up and in for Mike Mrzinski. And Edgar takes a 2-0 lead. They do not press. Pat Meyer moves to front court for the Dons. Perry Hartle on the far wing. Holds it at the hash mark. Gives back to Meyer. High post Zigerlicki. Neal leans in but has no shot. Gives to Meyer. Pat can't penetrate on Lehman. They swing to Manlick on the near side. Looks like a half-court 2-3 matchup zone here by Edgar. Into Zigerlicki, knocked away, and a steal for Mrzinski. A breakout for Mike. He'll drive down the floor, give to Bielmeyer, and kick out to Umnes for a three-point shot. No good, and a long rebound claimed by Hartle. He wants to run. He's got a 2-on-1 lead for Zigerlicki. Drives and missed the shot, but was fouled by Umnes. First foul on Trevor Umnes, and the first team foul. Once again, Ed Sheahen with us tonight. And Ed, the Dons hoping for a better showing than they had against Stratford on Tuesday night.
Well, they got off to a real poor start in that game and never really recovered. They're up against an all-senior lineup tonight to start this game for Edgar.
Neal Zigerlicki makes that first free throw. The Dons trail 2-1, 60 seconds into this contest. Second shot by Zigerlicki, away and good as well. Tying the ball game at 2 apiece. The Dons applying some pressure in backcourt. They might get a steal. The ball loose at the timeline and picked up by Pat Meyer of Columbus. Dons move back to forecourt. Hartle, baseline to Deeringer, holds in the far corner. Lobs out top Manlick, kicks it near side again to Pat Meyer. Hartle, far side Manlick. That defense rotates around. Hartle's open out top. He'll launch a three. It's too long, and Mrzinski high for the rebound for Edgar. Lobs in front court to Shea Lehman down the far sideline. Drops it inside to Mrzinski. Turnaround from 10 is up and in. Mike Mrzinski with 2 baskets to give Edgar a 2-point lead. Dons move back on offense, and Mrzinski up there playing the top of what appears to be almost a 1-3-1 zone. And they got big Mike Mrzinski out there, who's quite an athlete, playing the point spot on that zone defense. Manlick out top. He's open for a 3-point try. He kicks out, however, and rebounded by Trevor Umnes. Outlet to Bielmeyer. Breakout for the Wildcats. Paul down the near sideline. Stopped by Zigerlicki. Out top to Umnes. He'll penetrate his cutoff. Still holds. Now lobs back out top to Michael Miller. And the Wildcats set their offense in front court to our right. Columbus playing half-court man-to-man defense. Here's Umnes flashing through Bielmeyer. Down the lane on Hartle. Goes up for the lay-in. Paul Bielmeyer with the basket, giving Edgar a 4-point lead. Now the Dons come to forecourt. Hartle swings out near the center line to Manlick. Right back to Hartle. Baseline Deeringer. Spots up. 15-footer offline. And Shea Lehman over the rim to get the rebound. Wildcats have it, leading by 4. Here's Miller. Stopped out top by Manlick. Umnes on the near wing. Looks down low. He'll drive to the foul line. Cut off. Gives to Mrzinski out top. Kicks it baseline. Miller. Here's a 3-point try. It's good. Michael Miller for 3. Only his second 3-point basket this season. And Edgar has opened up a 7-point lead 3 minutes into this ball game.
Edgar 4 of 6 from the field.
Half-court zone defense by the Wildcats. It's Columbus ball in front court to our left. Baseline Manlick, and Umnes comes from behind to knock that ball into the grandstand out of bounds.
Columbus 0 of 3 from the field.
Yeah, tough start for the Dons again tonight. 4:55 remaining first quarter, and Edgar off to a 9-2 lead. Dons reset. Zigerlicki high post, kicks baseline to Hartle. Pull up 15-footer is blocked, but Umnes fouled him. Trevor Umnes said he got all ball, but our officials Marv Anderson said not quite.
Second foul on Umnes.
That is the second foul on Umnes, the second team foul. Second foul on Umnes, who's averaging over 10 points per game. So we'll see if Coach Heidmann makes a move on the bench. Perry Hartle, only 45% on the foul line this season, but he does get 2 free throws here. And the first try is away. It's good with 4:46 remaining in the first period. Edgar leading at 9-3. And Umnes is out, replaced by Colin Unteed, a 6-foot junior, averaging 3.2 points per game. One more free throw for the Dons' Perry Hartle. It is up and in. And the Dons deficit down to 5, although Columbus still has not scored a field goal in this game. Dons apply pressure. A lead pass for Bielmeyer breaks it. He'll drive the lane, hook it up, and miss it. The rebound tipped outside, and somebody may have run over Pat Meyer. He had rebound position, and he was hit and fouled by an Edgar ball player. It appears that call will be on Lehman, his first and the third team foul. And the Dons making their first change. Deeringer is out. He'll be replaced by Chris Arneson, a 6'2 sophomore, averaging 6.4 points per game. Dons still looking for their first basket. They trail by 5. Columbus moves back to forecourt. Edgar now going to a half-court man-to-man. Hartle, high post, a shot by Arneson is up and in. Chris Arneson with the Dons' first basket. Columbus back to within 3. Here's a long forecourt pass up the floor to Bielmeyer. Grabs it behind the defense, but it's in too deep and can't shoot. So he'll give to Unteed. He drives back outside again to Merzinski, and he walks with the ball moving down the lane. Edgar's second turnover of this contest. 4:13 remaining. First period. Edgar has the early lead now at 9-6. And the Dons coming into front court to our left. Pat Meyer lobs across the timeline to Chris Manlick. Arneson swings to Hartle on the near side. Back out top, Meyer open for a three-point try, and it's no good. And a strong rebound by Mike Merzinski, screening off Neil Zigerlicki to grab that one for Edgar. Wildcats move to forecourt, and below the basket, they had Miller breaking through, but he had the ball deflected, and off of him out of bounds. The ball goes right back to Columbus.
Columbus now 1 of 5 from the field. Edgar 4 of 7.
And that, by the way, is Edgar's third turnover. The Dons come back on offense, trailing by 3. Meyer, far side to Manlick along the sideline, picked up along that far sideline by Shea Lehman. High post to Arneson, right back outside again to Hartle near the center line. Manlick open near side for a three-point attempt, and it's good! Chris Manlick with his 12th three-point shot this year. That ties the ball game at 9 apiece. The Dons putting on some pressure. Merzinski has it, dribbles hard across the line, kicks baseline to Lehman, drives on Arneson, but missed the shot, and Zigerlicki there for the rebound. Ahead to Meyer, a breakout for the Dons, lead Arneson on the near side. He's open, three-point try offline. He shot, I think, that ball too quickly. Really was not set. And the rebound to Shea Lehman of Edgar. Meyer making him work hard in backcourt, kicks it across the line to Miller. 5 minutes into this ball game, and we're tied at 9. The Dons have scored 7 straight points. Edgar ball, unteed on the far wing, holds outside the arc. Top of the circle, hits Lehman, near side Bielmeyer. He can drive on Hartle, chooses not to do so, kicks out to Miller for a 3. It's no good, and Arneson screens off to grab the rebound. Dons can take a lead with a basket. Here's Meyer across the 10-second line on the far wing. Stutter steps, lobs near side to Hartle. Perry goes baseline and walks with the basketball. Each team now has 3 turnovers tonight. The Dons make some changes. Trevor Gorman, 5'10 freshman, averaging 4.9 points per game. Into the ball game along with Nick Hamas, 5'9 sophomore. He's averaging 4.9 per game as well. It's Edgar basketball. Merzinski across the line, down the lane, kicks outside to Miller. No shot for Michael Miller. Fine quarterback on the Edgar football team. Bielmeyer, the tailback, takes it near side. High post to Unteed. He turns without the shot on Arneson. Kicks back out to Merzinski, harassed by Zigerlicki. Bielmeyer on the near wing. Holds it outside the arc, and Hamas making him work awfully hard. Bielmeyer still holds it, maybe in danger of a 5 count here. Comes out top to Unteed, far side Merzinski. He goes baseline, collides with Manlick and drops the ball out of bounds. However, Chris did hit it last. It will be Edgar basketball, and the Wildcats will make another change. It appears that Cody Heil, 5'8 senior, averaging 1.3 points per game, will enter the contest. The Dons also bring in a new man. This is a normal starter, Scott Weber, averaging 2.6 per game, 6'3" senior, who's been bothered by injury problems. Inbound pass goes underneath to Mrzinski, but he misses the lay-in, and Weber right there to pick off the rebound for the Dons. Front court feed, Arneson in the far corner, out top to Trevor Gorman. Here's Hamas on the near side. Gets it back to Gorman outside the arc. 1:40 in the period. Manlick open, drives the lane. Kicks underneath to Weber, but through his hands, out of bounds. It's a Dons turnover, their 4th of the night. Well, the Edgar Wildcats up 9-2 at one point. The Dons then scored 7 straight to tie it, and we've been deadlocked at 9 for quite a while. Some backcourt pressure. Mrzinski breaks it, drives down the lane, kicks out to Unteed on the near side. Edgar now resets their offense with 90 seconds in the period. Mrzinski high post. Back outside Miller. Far side again to Heil. A lot of outside passing into Mrzinski. Turns. Kicks out baseline. Lehman a three-pointer. No good. However, Gorman came out and fouled him. Foul on Trevor Gorman will be his first and the second team foul. And so Shea Lehman, who is 5 of 9 on the foul line this season, will get 3 free throws for the Edgar Wildcats. Lehman has not scored a point in Edgar's last 2 ball games. When he scores now, he knocks down that first free throw. Edgar up 10-9 with 1:17 remaining in the first period. Shea Lehman with a second foul shot. This one is no good. Edgar wants to bring Bielmeyer back in the ball game, but for Lehman, so he'll get 1 more free throw. Edgar leading by 1. Lehman set, and this shot is up and in. And now Lehman replaced, and Bielmeyer comes back in. Edgar leads by 2 late in the first quarter. Columbus coming length of the floor. Trevor Gorman across the 10-second line, and Edgar back to a 1-3-1 with Mrzinski, the point man, out there. Manlick baseline to Arneson. Manlick gets it back at the far hash mark. Attacks down the lane, tries to lob it outside, but it's stolen by Miller. Ahead to Mrzinski. He has a breakout, drives, and hits the lay-in. That's 5 Columbus turnovers here in the first quarter, and Edgar builds a 4-point lead with 50 seconds in the period. Dons on the attack. Gorman far side to Weber. Gorman gets it back on the far wing, lobs to Manlick. And again, Edgar playing a half-court 1-3-1. The Dons have been bothered by this. Manlick outside the arc on the near side. Baseline Arneson turns, has no shot on Miller. Back out front again to Manlick. Gorman, baseline to Weber in the far corner. 28 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Here's Gorman on the drive, gets inside and collides with an Edgar defender, and we'll have an Edgar foul here. And the call coming on Colin Unteed, who was not set to prevent that collision. First foul on Unteed, and the 4th Edgar team foul. And the officials claim that Gorman was trying to shoot the basketball, so he will get free throws. Trevor 6 of 10 on the foul line thus far this season. He is shooting 2. Trevor's first attempt is good. 24 seconds remaining, first quarter, and Edgar leads 13-10. 1 more for Trevor Gorman, freshman guard, and the 2 officials, Mike Brzezinski and Marv Anderson, a veteran crew. They are conferring and discussing some aspect of the ball game, and they will now walk over towards the scorer's table and discuss this situation with the gentleman at the table. Dons basketball this evening. Dons and Edgar basketball brought to us by Kiefer Bus Service of Auburndale. Mitch and Marge Kiefer proudly support all area youth activities. Kiefer Bus Service has provided bus service to the Auburndale School District for over 65 years. That's Kiefer Bus Service in Auburndale.
They awarded 2 points to Columbus.
I'm not sure why they did that. We'll have to sort that out. 20 seconds in the period. The ball loose of the timeline and kicked across the line by a Columbus player. But 2 points have been put on the scoreboard for Columbus.
Must have given Gorman a basket on a goaltend, or...
Oh, that could be. It's Edgar now setting their attack with 15 seconds in the period. Mrzinski lobs back outside. Nobody's there. The ball in the backcourt for an over and back violation. So the scoreboard now reads Edgar 13, Columbus 12, with 11 seconds remaining in the first period. Dons can take their first lead with a basket here. Gorman across the line with 7, 6, can't get down the lane. Comes back outside to Gorman, 4, 3. Baseline Hummus with 2. Lobs inside, knocked down by Unteed as time expires. After one quarter here at Columbus High School, our score is Edgar 13 and the Columbus Dons 12. We'll come back with second quarter action right after this. Well, not sure what that call was. Late in the first period, Trevor Gorman going to the basket, was fouled, shot a free throw, made it. The officials then conferred and awarded Columbus 2 extra points, so it was a 3-point play for Gorman. And I guess, Ed, you might be right. Maybe there was a goaltending call, although there did not appear to be such a play on that drive by Gorman. But the Dons do get 3 points on the play, and now Edgar comes into front court, and as Miller drives the lane, he loses control of the basketball. It goes out of bounds back to the Dons. Columbus again can take the lead with a basket. They've not led in this ball game. Zigerlicki outside the arc, far wing. Skips it near side to Hertel. Man-to-man defense by Edgar, and Umnes is back in the ball game. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. Gorman down the lane, but carries the basketball. It's a Columbus turnover.
By my count, that's their 6th.
Yep, that's right. 6. That's what I've got. So maybe you're right, Ed. Could have been a goaltending call. Of course, you recognize that because that was the flaw in your game. Too many goaltending violations when you were playing.
For the other guy.
Edgar now setting their attack, still leading by 1. Miller top of the circle, gets a screen from Umnes and rolls it back inside to Umnes, but Gorman plays that well and intercepts that pass. Trevor moves back up the floor, out top to a Hertel for a 3-point try, around and out, and pulled in by Mrzinski. Edgar still has a 1-point lead. Lehman moves to front court for the Wildcats, gives out top to Miller. Holds in the center circle. Lehman gets it back on the far side. Bounces high post to Mrzinski. Can't get down the lane, though, on Dieringer. Baseline Miller holds the ball on Hertel. Downstairs Bielmeyer. He'll turn on Gorman. Right back to Miller for a 3-pointer, and it's good. Michael Miller hits his second 3 of this contest, giving Edgar a 4-point lead early in the second quarter. Pat Meyer coming across the timeline for the Dons, and again Edgar goes back to that 1-3-1. Meyer on the near side, but he walks with it once more as he makes a move down the lane.
That's about 3 of those traveling calls.
I think you're right. Well, this crew apparently likes to call that play. Chris Manlick back in for the Dons. Trevor Gorman is out with 6:40 remaining in the second period, and Edgar leading 16-12. Backcourt pressure by the Dons, and Dieringer, a bit too aggressive, reaches through Mrzinski to knock down the inbound pass. Foul on Willie Dieringer will be his second and the third team foul. Chris Arneson reporting back in for the Dons, and Dieringer is out.
On that play, the only other thing it could have been would have been calling a foul on a man driving for a layup.
Yep. Here's Mrzinski, beats the pressure to front court, passes inside. Arneson there to knock it down and make a steal for the Dons. Columbus gets it back. Meyer across the timeline. Holds near the center line, kicks it out near side to Hertel, and he walks again. And Coach Wilczek up off the bench, not real happy with the official crew that has called a lot of traveling violations against his team on moves down the lane and towards the basket. Edgar's gotten a couple as well tonight. Mrzinski takes the inbound pass, flings it over to Shea Lehman. He'll cross the 10-second line on the far wing. Now Miller wants it in the center circle, and he'll reset the Edgar attack in front court to our right. Mrzinski bounces downstairs to Umnes, kicks foul line to Bielmeyer for the jumper. It's no good, and Hertel screens off for the rebound for the Dons. Finds Pat Meyer, forecourt to Manlick on the far sideline. Chris harassed by Bielmeyer, wants some help and kicks it back outside again to Hertel. Meyer on the far side, Zigerlicki out top. Mrzinski defending him, however. Hertel looks back to Neal, below the basket, double teamed, and is fouled going up for the shot. A couple of Edgar ball players were right there, but Neal Zigerlicki took it up and drew some contact.
Foul, I think, on Mrzinski.
Yeah, you're right. It's number 1 on Mike Mrzinski, the 5th team foul. And it is a shooting foul, so Neal Zigerlicki will shoot 2, foul line left. He's already 2 of 2 on the line tonight, makes the first one. We've got 5:47 remaining in the first half, and the Dons trail Edgar 16-13. The second shot from Mrzinski rolls out of there, and Mrzinski very high for the rebound. That was Zigerlicki shooting for the Dons again. Here's Michael Miller back on offense for Edgar, protecting a 3-point lead. Merzinski from the near side. High post. Spielmeyer drives on Hartle down the lane. Perry blocks his shot, but is called for a violation. Foul on Perry Hartle will be his first and the fourth team foul. Dons basketball. Dons and Edgar basketball tonight here on WOSQ, brought to us by Clark Electric Co-op in Greenwood, the Abbeyland Truck Stop in Curtis, and Health South Physical Therapy of Spencer. And here's Bielmeyer shooting foul shots, makes the first. We have 5:35 remaining in the first half. The Wildcats lead 17-13.
Brzezinski with 4 rebounds for Edgar.
He's off to a good start. Bielmeyer knocks down that second foul shot as well. Edgar leads by 5. Their biggest lead tonight has been 7 in the first quarter. And Edgar back in the half court, 1-3-1. Dons basketball. Manlick outside the arc, kicks it downstairs. Zigerlicki at the dotted line, goes up, shoots over Miller, doesn't go down, and the rebound to Lehman. Good defensive stand there by Edgar. Wildcats move back to forecourt. Umnes, top of the circle, swings to Lehman. He'll penetrate down the lane and walk with the basketball. He got caught up in no man's land of should he shoot or pass the basketball, and actually did neither. Now Edgar extending their defense into backcourt. Edgar with 8 turnovers. Columbus has 8 as well. Dons move to front court, trailing by 5, 3 minutes into the second quarter. Top of the circle, Arneson. Pass near side, stolen by Umnes, but he can't control it. Goes over the sideline, out of bounds. Columbus will retain possession. Perry Hartle will toss it in near the center line for Columbus. Looks to Manlick on the near wing. Back out top to Hartle, swings far side to Pat Meyer. Arneson right back to Manlick on the near side. He'll drive down the lane. He's open, goes up in his foul, putting up the shot. Did not get the shot to fall, but there is an Edgar foul here. It'll be called on Shea Lehman. Second on Lehman. 6th team foul. And on the foul line for the Dons, Chris Manlick, a 71% free throw shooter. His first is no good. With 4:45 remaining in the first half, we have an Edgar timeout. The Wildcats want time. 4:45 remaining in the second quarter. And Edgar leads Columbus 18-13 in Marywood Conference basketball on WOSQ, brought to us this evening by Kiefer Bus Service of Auburndale. Mitch and Marge Kiefer proudly support all Central Wisconsin sports activities, and Kiefer Bus Service has provided bus service to the Auburndale School District for over 65 years. That's Kiefer Bus Service of Auburndale. Edgar has led much of the way tonight, and they're up by 5 with 4:45 remaining in the second quarter.
We've had 2 ties at 2 and 9, no lead changes.
And Chris Manlick back on the foul line for a second shot. And this free throw is spun up there. He missed that one as well. Merzinski rebounds. Odd occurrence for Manlick, shooting over 70% from the foul line. Edgar ball, they lead by 5. Pass near side to Michael Miller. This is a veteran Edgar ball club. Big, strong, physical guys against a much younger, much more inexperienced Columbus team. Out top to Umnes. He'll drive on Arneson, but Chris shuts him down. Comes outside again to Merzinski. Top of the circle, harassed by Zigerlicki. Lehman, pass into Miller. He'll go up on Manlick and lay it in. Michael Miller with 8. Edgar by 7, equaling their biggest lead of the ball game. Columbus moves back to front court. Pass near corner to Arneson. Back outside again to Hartle. High post to Zigerlicki. Skips it outside to Pat Meyer. He drops the ball, picks it back up, and we have a violation here. It looks like a timeout, Columbus. The Dons do want a timeout. The Columbus Dons take their first timeout of this ball game with 3:57 remaining in the second quarter, and Edgar leading 20-13. We'll return to Columbus High School in just a moment. Dons have the ball in front court to our left, trailing by 7 midway through the second quarter. Perry Hartle, top of the circle, holds the ball. Arneson on the far wing, back out top to Hartle for a 3-point try. It's too short, tipped out long, though, to Manlick. Dons get it back, and Arneson tries a 3. That one's too long. Merzinski with one hand goes up to grab that rebound for Edgar. Outlets to Lehman, front court to Miller in the far corner. Skips back out to Bielmeyer. Merzinski out front, has an open shot, but won't take it. Now Michael Miller on the far side, one-on-one against Chris Manlick. Trevor Umnes turns right back outside to Miller, skips near side Mrzinski. Down the lane, kicks out to Miller for an open three, and this one's no good. Long rebound claimed by Pat Meyer. Dons try to hustle to front court, lead past Manlick. He goes baseline, drives, hooks it up and missed it. And Trevor Umnes back for the rebound. The Wildcats go the other way. Miller, 1-on-3, holds on the far wing. Harassed there by Manlick, goes far side to Mrzinski. Mike puts the ball on the floor, skips it back near side to Bielmeyer. Now Mrzinski gets it back top of the circle. 2:50 remaining, second quarter. Edgar by 7. Columbus in the half-court man-to-man. Umnes baseline, turns on Arneson. Comes back out top again to Miller. Mrzinski in the lane. Umnes turnaround from 10 is up and in. Trevor Umnes with his first basket, and the Edgar lead is at 9, their biggest lead of this ball game.
And Edgar has outscored Columbus 9-1 in this second period.
And a 13-4 run since we were tied up at 9 apiece. Columbus basketball. Here's Perry Hartle. High post to Zigerlicki. Far side to Pat Meyer. Arneson in the far corner. Lobs back to Meyer. Back out top again to Hartle, but way out of three-point range. Zigerlicki takes it back out front. Down low. There's Arneson wide open for an easy lay-in. A great pass by Meyer from the weak side, or the opposite side of the weak side, to Arneson on the block. An easy basket for Chris, and now Edgar breaks back down the floor with a 7-point lead. Bielmeyer comes outside to Mrzinski. Holds it on Zigerlicki, 1:50 in the period. Jump pass far side, but Mrzinski walked with the ball, got caught up in the air, making that pass, and Edgar suffers a turnover. Hamas and Gorman come back in for the Dons for Arneson and Hartle. 1:50 remaining in the second period, and Edgar leads 22-15. It's Columbus basketball. Meyer across the 10-second line. Pass near side to Gorman. Bounces back out top again to Hamas. Manlick on the far wing. Back to Hamas on the drive and missed the shot. And Mrzinski there on the rebound. Nick was a bit off balance. Couldn't get it to roll down. Long lead pass for Bielmeyer behind the defense. He misses. Lehman, though, follows and is fouled. Shea Lehman gets in there, grabs the offensive rebound on the trail, and draws a foul on Trevor Gorman. Second on Trevor. And the 5th team foul. And not on the shot, so Edgar is inbounding baseline front court. Miller to Lehman on the far wing, out top to Umnes, back in the corner to Miller, turns without the shot on Hamas. Umnes open out top, but can't shoot. Miller gets it back on the near side, skips it cross court to Lehman, downstairs Mrzinski. Turns, hands high post Umnes for the jump shot, and it's good. Very good ball movement by Edgar on that series. They're back up by 9. Columbus has the ball back.
Mrzinski with 8 rebounds for Edgar.
And Manlick with a three-point try. He hits it. A big three for Chris Manlick, his second of the night. Dons within 6, 55 seconds in the period, but quickly Edgar down the floor. Mrzinski on a shot is pushed from behind and fouled. The shot did not roll in, but we'll have some Edgar free throws here, I believe. Trevor Gorman will get that foul as well. That's 3 on Trevor, the 6th team foul. And Mike Mrzinski, 70% on the foul line, is on the line to our right, shooting 2. Scored only 2 points against the Dons a year ago on 1 of 5 shooting. He makes the first free throw. Gorman out and Hartle back in with 52 seconds left in the second quarter. And Edgar leading 25-18. Second shot for Mike Mrzinski. It is good as well. And Edgar back up by 8, 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Columbus to forecourt. Manlick out near the center line, back out top to Pat Meyer. Lobs far side to Hartle, into Zigerlicki, right back out to Hartle. Baseline 3 is up and in. A 3 for Perry Hartle, his 14th of the year, but quickly Edgar down the floor, and Meyer goes up with Mrzinski on a shot block attempt. They both go down, and we'll have a foul here. Edgar doing a good job getting the ball down the floor very, very quickly. Foul is called on Pat Meyer, his first, and the 7th team foul. Mike Mrzinski will get 2 free throws here for Edgar. Already 2 of 2 on the line. His first here is good. And Hamas is out. Arneson back in. 31 seconds remaining, second quarter. Edgar holds the lead, 27-21. Mershinsky's second foul shot for Edgar, no good, and Arneson there for the rebound. Edgar by 6, 28 seconds in the period. Columbus to front court. Meyer far side to Hartle. Baseline Manlick at 21. Kicks it back outside again to Hartle. Manlick on the far side with 16. Closing out the second quarter. Edgar leads by 6. Manlick outside to Arneson. Out top Hartle. Here's a three-pointer. Up and no good. Long rebound fought for. Claimed by Bielmeyer. 6 on the clock. Mershinsky front court pass over Miller's head. Out of bounds. With 2 seconds in the period. Dons will inbound. Baseline backcourt with 2 seconds to shoot. Arneson looking. Comes into Meyer. Deep in backcourt. And he'll heave the ball up the floor and come up short. Well, the Edgar Wildcats leading from start to finish so far tonight, but not able to shake the Columbus Dons as of yet. You're listening to Marywood Conference Basketball on 92.3 WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield. Our producer is Jesse Newman along with Ed Sheahen. I'm Gene DeLisio. The score at the halftime break is Edgar 27 and the Columbus Dons 21. And we'll come back with our halftime program in just a moment. 6-point lead for the Edgar Wildcats as we open the second half here at Columbus High School. And Columbus will have possession and will bring the ball into front court to our right. Pat Meyer at the point guard spot. Comes across the line on Paul Bielmeyer. Chris Manlick on the near side. Skips it back to Meyer on the far wing. Edgar in a man-to-man. Here's a three by Hartle, and Mershinsky comes out to block it, then pick it off. Mike Mershinsky playing some fine basketball for Edgar tonight. Wildcats reset, leading by 6. Bielmeyer to Umnes on the near side. Turns on Dieringer. Down the lane to Miller. On the cut for the lay-in. Michael Miller in double figures with 10, the 5th time this year. Miller has scored in double figures. It's an 8-point lead for Edgar. Columbus to front court. Manlick top of the circle. Comes near side to Meyer. Man-to-man defense here by Edgar. They've changed defenses throughout the evening, and they've really harmed the Dons with a 1-3-1, mainly after made shots. Here's Meyer on the near side, and he walks with the ball, and we've seen that call by the officials throughout the evening. A ball player making an initial step down the lane towards the basket, being cited for moving that pivot foot too early and called for traveling. That's really victimized the Dons, but the Wildcats have been called for that a couple of times as well.
That's 5 of those calls against the Dons.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ed. 5 traveling violations. Edgar to forecourt. Miller, high post to Mershinsky. Mike spins it back outside to Miller on the near side. Early third quarter, Edgar leads by 8. Miller skips it far side to a guy in the third row. Well, Michael Miller was the quarterback on that Edgar football team this year, and he exhibited a great arm on that play.
He told him to go deep.
He went way deep on that one. Long fly pattern over Bielmeyer's head. Well, the Dons have the ball back. That's 11 turnovers for Edgar tonight. Manlick between the circles, picked up by Lehman. Here's Zigerlicki outside the arc. Dieringer in the near corner, turns on Michael Miller. Comes back out top again to Manlick. He's going to dip down the lane. Jump step, goes up and missed the shot. Bielmeyer there for the rebound. Outlets to Miller. No break this time for the Wildcats. Miller comes into forecourt, holds the ball near the center line. Far side hits Bielmeyer, picked up by Meyer. High post Umnes. He's been awfully quiet tonight. Early foul difficulty. But out there now. Miller on the near side. Out top again, Bielmeyer. Back to Lehman for a three-point try, and it's good. Shea Lehman with a 3. Boy, he's shooting close to 50% from three-point range this year. That's his 8th three-point basket. It's a lead of 11 for Edgar, their biggest lead of the night. And here's a bad pass tipped in the backcourt by Umnes, but he can't control it. The ball's on the floor, rolls back into Columbus's forecourt, picked up there by Mershinsky, but that is an over and back violation. It was tipped back there by Umnes, so that is an over and back violation on Edgar. And the official Marv Anderson explaining that now to Jim Heidmann. 5:43 remaining third quarter. Edgar on top here, 32-21. This is the Wildcats' biggest lead of the night. Columbus ball near the center line, and Perry Hartle looking, comes into Dieringer, but Willie may have been pushed. I think we have a push on an Edgar ball player impeding Dieringer from getting to the basketball.
Bielmeyer, I believe.
Bielmeyer gets the foul. It's his first team foul. Again, the Dons inbound. It's the center line. Manlick takes it along the far sideline. Waits for his teammates. Holds on the far wing. Picks up his dribble, finds Zigerlicki outside the arc on the far side. Neal dribbles around on the outside, still holds the basketball, comes back to Meyer on the near wing. Out top, Hartle, he's open, drives down the lane, pulls up without the shot. Gives to Meyer on the near side. Man-to-man defense here by Edgar. It's Manlick out front. Good half-court defense here by the Wildcats. Meyer back out top to the foul line. Has the ball tipped high in the air and grabbed by Murzinski. Boy, a whale of a game for Mike Murzinski of Edgar tonight. Wildcats back to front court. Here's Umnes on the near wing. Out top to Miller. Baseline Bielmeyer. Down low Murzinski for the lay-in. 11 points for Mike Murzinski this evening. A 13-point lead for the Edgar Wildcats. And we have a Columbus timeout with 4:49 remaining in the third quarter. Our score is Edgar 34 and the Columbus Dons 21. And our coverage of Marywood Conference basketball here on WOSQ this evening, brought to us by Events Etc. in Marshfield. Now Todd and Natalie Kolbeck of Events Etc. can help you with the highest quality trophies, special gifts, and engraving. So please give them a call at 486-1644. That's 486-1644. Good luck to all area teams from Events Etc. in Marshfield. Back with more basketball from Columbus High School in just a moment. One spot. Well, Edgar now up by 13. This is their biggest lead of the ball game as they move back to front court, or Columbus moves back to front court. Pat Meyer can't get down the lane. Here's a steal. Murzinski again with a stolen pass for the Edgar Wildcats. Miller out between the circles. Holds it far side for Bielmeyer. Edgar now up by 13. Baseline Umnes, turnaround from 10, rolls off. And Manlick there for the rebound for the Dons. Gives to Trevor Gorman. Trevor has no break. Comes across the 10-second line, bounces near side to Manlick. A long three is up off the glass and no good. There's Deeringer for the rebound, though. He missed the putback. Tipped over the end line, out of bounds, and last hit by an Edgar ball player. Dons bring Arneson back in the ball game. 4:10 remaining. Third period, Edgar leading 34-21. Dons inbounding. The lob up for Zigerlicki. He's hit from behind by Murzinski. That will be an Edgar foul, the second on Mike Murzinski, and the second team foul.
Edgar on an 8-point run going back to the second period.
Again, Manley to inbound, baseline front court. He'll lob upside for Gorman, and as he goes up, he's hit in midair by Bielmeyer. And that's two fouls on Paul Bielmeyer and the third team foul. This time, Columbus will inbound near the center line. The pass comes into Manlick in backcourt, and he will recross on Lehman. Near side, Zigerlicki halfway through the third quarter. Edgar by 13. Hamas looking in from the near wing. Pass back out top to Manlick. Man-to-man defense by Edgar. Hamas out top to Gorman this time. Trevor comes back outside again to Manlick. Gets a screen from Gorman. Rolls it back to Trevor along the near sideline. He'll penetrate down the lane. Kicks it inside, and Murzinski steals. Columbus turnover, their 13th of the night. Edgar comes back to front court with a 13-point lead. Michael Miller on the far sideline, harassed by Manlick. Comes back out top. Bielmeyer in the center circle. Here's Lehman on the near side. Kicks it high post to Murzinski. Back to Umnes. Pulls up. Baseline Bielmeyer. 15-footer. No good. And here's a rebounding foul. It appears to be on Murzinski. That is the call. Number 3 on Mike Murzinski. Fourth team foul against Edgar.
First Edgar player with 3 fouls.
And that's a big one. Mike Murzinski has played some great basketball for the Edgar Wildcats tonight. Columbus on offense, down by 13. Trevor Gorman on the drive down the lane. All the way, scoop shot, rolls in. Trevor Gorman with a nice impressive move. Dons trail by 11, but quickly again, Edgar gets the ball back down the floor. Pass comes near side to Bielmeyer. No break, out top Miller. Trevor Umnes takes it, high post Murzinski, dumps it inside to Lehman, goes up and is fouled. Knocked down hard But Shea Lehman, pretty tough football player, can handle some contact. Foul is called on Chris Manlick, number 1 on Chris, and the first team foul, and Shea Lehman was shooting. He's 2 of 3 on the foul line tonight. He'll get 2 more right here. 2:53 remaining, third quarter. Lehman's first free throw is good. And Edgar now leads 35-23. For the Wildcats, Colin Unteed back in for Mike Mershinsky, who has those 3 personal fouls. How many rebounds for Mershinsky now, Ed?
He has 8.
8 rebounds. He's threatening a double-double with 11 points and 8 rebounds right now. Second free throw good by Lehman. He's got 7 points. And Edgar again leads by 13. Columbus comes down the floor, and here's Manlick on the near side. Outside the arc, on the cut to Zigerlicki for the lay-in, and he's fouled. Dons do that very well. Neil Zigerlicki puts it in on the feed from Manlick, and Neil draws contact as well.
This is Zigerlicki's first basket.
After making 3 free throws, Colin Unteed gets the foul, his second, and the 5th team foul, and Neil Zigerlicki on the foul line to our right will attempt the 3-point play. Neil 3 of 4 on free throws tonight. Meyer back in for the Dons, and Manlick will have a rest. Neil Zigerlicki on the foul line. His free throw up and in. He's got 6. 10-point lead for Edgar. 2:40 remaining, third quarter. Dons put some pressure on in backcourt here, and I believe we have a foul. We have a hand check here on Zigerlicki, who hit Umnes from behind, trying to keep up with him. First on Neil Zigerlicki, the second team foul. Edgar will inbound at 3-quarter court. Miller comes into Bielmeyer. Back to Miller. Half-court trap here by the Dons. Bielmeyer behind the line, breaks it, comes across to Miller on the near wing. Man-to-man defense by Columbus. Cody Heil on the near side. Miller will lob it up high to Umnes, tipped away. Umnes gets it back, shovels to Bielmeyer, baseline, short, off-balance jumper, rolls out. And Arneson in front of 3 Edgar defenders gets the rebound. Meyer, front court to Hamas to the baseline, no shot. Comes near side Gorman, wide open from 3-point range, but he missed it. And Bielmeyer flies in for the rebound for Edgar. 2 minutes in the period, Edgar by 10. Bielmeyer across the line, baseline to Miller on the cut. Unteed, turnaround jumper, good. Colin Unteed on the scoreboard, and Edgar leads by a dozen. Columbus ball. Hamas outside the arc to Arneson on the far wing. Hamas back in the far corner. Picked up by Umnes. Arneson now comes back outside again. Meyer, a lot of outside passing here by the Dons. And the Wildcats may be back at a half-court zone defense once again. Here's Gorman, another 3-point try. This one too long. Ball's on the floor, and Colin Unteed gets there for Edgar. Hands back to Cody Heil. The Wildcats move back on the offensive end, leading by a dozen. Bielmeyer, center circle, hits Umnes at the far hash mark. Unteed high post, back to Umnes. Here's a 3-point try. It's good, and he's fouled as well. Trevor Umnes hits the 3 and then gets fouled by Chris Arneson. How about that? Trevor up with the 3, his 4th 3-point basket of the year. And that gives Edgar a 15-point lead. And then on top of that, Chris Arneson commits a foul. That's the first on Chris and the 3rd team foul. And so this could be a 4-point play for the Wildcats. Umnes coming off a 20-point performance against Tomahawk in the Wildcats' last ball game. His free throw is up, and it is good. It's a 4-point play for Edgar. They lead by 16, and Umnes is now replaced. And the Edgar Wildcats will bring in Austin Chanowski, a 6-foot sophomore. Columbus comes into the attack zone, trailing by 16. Edgar's biggest lead of the night. Hamas comes out top to Gorman. Back on the far side, Deeringer stopped at the high post. Gorman to the near side. Can't split a double team. Has it tipped away. It's on the floor along the near sideline and picked up by Chanowski. 14 Columbus turnovers this evening. 45 seconds remaining, third quarter. Edgar by 16. Wildcats have the basketball. Unteed out front. Far side to Lehman. And Hamas on him very tightly. But Lehman still holds it. Back out top, Chanowski. Comes near side, Unteed for a 15-footer. It's around and in. Colin Unteed, 2 baskets in this second quarter, this third quarter. 18-point lead for Edgar with 21 seconds remaining in the period. Columbus ball. Meyer has an alley, drives down the lane and hits the scoop shot. Pat Meyer scores his first basket. 12 seconds in the period. In backcourt, Miller has it ahead to Lehman with 8-7. He'll cross the timeline, and he's blocked along the near sideline by Gorman. And Trevor Gorman picks up his fourth personal foul. That is the fourth team foul. And Edgar will inbound at quarter court with 7 seconds to shoot. Quickly, Perry Hardo will get into the ball game for the Dons as Gorman is pulled. Miller inbounding at quarter court with 7 seconds to shoot. Miller comes into Lehman near the center line with 6-5 in the center circle. Drives now down the lane. Running scoop shot, no good. And the rebound tipped to Pat Meyer as time expires. And after 3 quarters here at Columbus High School, our score: Edgar 44, Columbus 28, and fourth quarter action right after this. (17-7) edge for Edgar in that third period. They now lead by 16 as we start the fourth quarter.
Edgar 6 of 10 from the field in the third period, now 15 of 29 for the game. Columbus 3 of 9 from the field, now 9 of 29.
Inbound pass comes to Shea Lehman. He hands to Michael Miller on the drive, but missed the lay-in. And Deeringer rebounds for Columbus. Don's on the breakout. Pat Meyer to the near side. Columbus in front court to our right. Manlick down the lane to Hartle. He's double-teamed, lost control, and the ball batted out of bounds by an Edgar defender. Early fourth quarter, and Edgar leads by 16. Columbus inbounding, baseline front court. And Hartle comes into Deeringer, outside the arc to Meyer, back to Hartle in the corner. Can't shoot the three off a Deeringer screen. Looks to Zigerlicki at the high post for the jumper. Good! Neil Zigerlicki with 8. 14-point lead for Edgar. Michael Miller, double-teamed in backcourt, lobs across the line to Lehman. Below the basket, Umnes kicks it back outside again to Miller. He'll drive and walk with the ball. Edgar now has 13 turnovers. Columbus has 14. And we've had a lot of walking violations on both sides tonight.
I think that's Edgar's third. Columbus has been whistled 5 times.
Now Columbus moves back to front court. They need some points in a hurry, down by 14. Zigerlicki to the top of the circle on the drive, kicks it back outside, but knocks a man down. Knocked down Mrzinski, and Zigerlicki called on the offensive foul. Second foul on Neil Zigerlicki, and the 5th Columbus team foul. Long inbound pass, Umnes, he's behind the defense, wide open on Zigerlicki, who came from behind to block the shot, but commits another foul. Neil Zigerlicki on his 3rd foul, and the 6th team foul. And Edgar has done a great job of that tonight, getting the ball down the floor very, very quickly for some high percentage shots.
Well, that long pass by Miller was completed.
Yes, it was. Now Trevor Umnes shooting 2 free throws. 1 of 1 on the foul line tonight, making him 3 of 10 for the season. And he does convert the first one early in the fourth quarter, and Edgar leads 45-30. And the second foul shot coming up here for Shea Lehman, for Trevor Umnes rather. It is away and good as well. Umnes in double figures with 10 points. And Edgar leads again by 16 early in the fourth quarter. Columbus ball. Meyer kicks it outside to Hartle to the dotted line. Perry will fire offline. Tipped around to Morshinsky. Gives to Miller. Looks long again. Front court to Lehman. Bounces into Umnes. Layup no good. In bad position to lay it in. And Hartle grabs the rebound. Outlets to Manlick. Chris in the far corner. Shovels out to Hartle for wide open 3. Good! Perry Hartle for 3. His second 3 of this ball game. Brings the Dons back to within 13. Again, Edgar goes long. The lead pass from Mrzinski. Past him out of bounds. Edgar with 14 turnovers, but they still lead by 13. 90 seconds into this fourth quarter, and we do have an Edgar timeout here. Edgar will take a timeout with 6:34 remaining in the fourth quarter. Our score is Edgar 46 and Columbus 33. And Marywood Conference basketball here on WOSQ is brought to us by Nelson Construction and Nelson Hardware of Arpin. Nelson's Construction and Nelson's Hardware of Arpin, longtime supporters of youth sports, and they continue to serve the farm, construction, and hardware needs of central Wisconsin. That's Nelson's Construction and Nelson's Hardware in Arpin. Edgar by 13, 90 seconds into the fourth quarter here at Columbus High School. Edgar looking for its first win ever against the Columbus Dons. They've only played 5 times. Or 4 times before this, each of the last 2 years, and then back in 1950, in the 1950-51 season, the first year that Columbus High School played varsity sports. They had a delay as one of the nets was caught up. The officials just noticed that, so Dons inbound once again at the center line, trailing by 13. Deeringer out front, far side to Hartle. Back out top to Meyer, pat down the lane, cut off, gives to Hartle for 3, missed it. Long rebound claimed by Bielmeyer, taken away by Meyer. Pat holds back out top for Hartle. He'll penetrate, pull up, come back out in the corner again to Manlick. Chris on the drive down the lane, scoop shot with the left hand, no good. Tipped in the corner, Meyer gets it and saves it back on the floor to Zigerlicki. Neal on the drive down the lane, short jumper, no good. This time Mershinsky grabs the rebound for Edgar. He'll hold and give to Miller across the 10-second line. 5:50 remaining. And the Dons trail by 13. Miller passing near side. Meyer steals. Breakout for Pat Meyer. Down the lane. Holds it. Comes out to Hartle. Gets 2 men in the air. Shoots a 15-footer and hits it. Perry Hartle with 10 in double figures for the 4th time this season. And on the long inbound pass, we have a foul as Merzhinsky went deep into Edgar's front court. Went up in the air to grab that long inbound pass, and he was hit in midair by Deeringer. Number 3 on Willie Deeringer, the 7th team foul. Free throws for Mike Mershinsky, who is a 70% foul shooter, and he's 3 of 4 on the foul line tonight.
He has a double-double now. He has 11 rebounds.
Great night for Mike Mershinsky, averaging 6.8 rebounds per game. His first free throw here is no good, but rebounded by Trevor Umness. And Edgar still has the basketball. Shea Lehman in the center circle. Poked away by Meyer. Here's a steal for Pat Meyer. He'll drive down the floor and lay it in. Steal and basket for Pat Meyer. The Dons back to within 9. Inbound pass stolen by Hartle. Dons have it back. Deeringer in the near corner. Flips it back out to Meyer. A wide open 3. This has cut an 18-point lead down to 6 with 5:02 remaining in regulation. Our score now is Edgar 46 and Columbus 40. Will return in just a moment. Well, the Columbus Dons have cut an 18-point lead down to 6 with 5:02 remaining in regulation. Edgar coming length of the floor. Miller inbounds to Bielmeyer, back to Miller. Ahead to Mershinsky. He'll come across the timeline. Dons fans are on their feet. Miller near the center line, harassed by Manlick. Comes back outside again, Mershinsky. He'll hold for Bielmeyer in the center circle. Still holds the ball on Hartle. Miller far side on the drive, cut off, and a reach-in foul against Columbus here. It'll be on Chris Manlick. Second on Manlick, the 8th team foul. Edgar will get free throws. The Wildcats 57% on the foul line as a team this year. Michael Miller is ironically also 57%, and he'll shoot a 1-and-1 for the Wildcats. Miller's first, leaves it short, missed everything. Columbus will inbound and come length of the floor. The Dons back to within 6 with 4:40 remaining in regulation. Pat Meyer starts out on Paul Bielmeyer. Across the timeline, down the lane, and he was hand-checked as he approached the basket. And a foul coming, I believe, on Bielmeyer. Third on Bielmeyer. Only the 6th team foul. Dons are not shooting. And Manlick inbounding at quarter court. Chris looking. Bounces into Hartle near the center line. Gets a screen from Meyer. Back near side to Manlick. Chris on the drive baseline is shut down. Has the ball tipped out of bounds. And last hit by Mershinsky. The Dons will retain possession. Inbounding baseline front court. Perry Hartle will trigger it in. He'll lob up for Zigerlicki in the lane. Batted loose, but Dieringer has it. Comes back out to Meyer, and Pat walks with the ball. Once again, the Dons calling for that same traveling violation, that first step. And this officiating crew has called that all night.
That's 6 that goes against the Dons.
4:20 remaining in regulation. Edgar by 6. Miller in backcourt to Mershinsky. He'll cross, tipped away. It's loose on the floor. There's a scramble. It comes to Bielmeyer. Ahead to Miller. He'll drive down the floor and lay it in, and he's fouled. Zigerlicki on the foul. That'll be 4 on Neal. And the 19th foul. And Columbus almost had a steal, but instead it goes the other way. And Edgar gets 2 points and now maybe 3 as Michael Miller heads to the foul line to attempt the three-point play. The Edgar lead is back to 8. Miller with a free throw. He puts it up, and this one is good. 13 points for Michael Miller tonight. The Dons make a change as Nick Hamas comes in for Neil Zigerlicki. That makes this Columbus lineup awfully small. They trail by 9 halfway through the fourth quarter. Columbus moves to front court. Here's Hartle on the near side. Looks back out top to Hamas. Nick on the drive. It's tipped loose, but picked up by Hartle in the near corner. Perry lobs out top to Meyer, and Pat walks with it again. 17 Columbus turnovers. 3:52 remaining. And the Edgar Wildcats lead by 9. They're inbounding in backcourt. Mershinsky has the ball. Harassed, double team behind the line, lobs across to Miller. Holds outside the arc. Bielmeyer, far side, hits Lehman. Along the far sideline, harassed by Meyer. Lehman to the near side, gives it baseline to Bielmeyer. In the lane to Mershinsky, he'll turn on Hamas and right back outside again to Bielmeyer. Edgar killing some time here, clock down to 3:25. They lead by 9. Pass near side to Bielmeyer. High post, Umnes will turn, swing it to Mershinsky, drives and was held. He put the ball in the basket, but a foul before the shot. Foul on Columbus. It'll be called on Nick Hamas, his first. That is the 10th team foul, and so Edgar now into the double bonus. Mike Mershinsky, 3 of 5 on free throws tonight, and he will shoot 2. 2 free throws for Mershinsky, who has 11 points this evening. His first attempt around and off. 3:18 left in the fourth quarter. Edgar leads 49-40. One more for Mike Mershinsky. And the shot is away, and it's good. The Edgar lead is back to 10. Pat Meyer handling the ball in backcourt for Columbus. Moves across the 10-second line. Hamas back out top. A bad pass is stolen by Umnes. Drives the floor and lays it in. Trevor Umnes with the steal and basket. And Edgar backed up by a dozen. Columbus ball. Here's Meyer. Kicks out top to Hamas. Drops the ball. Gets it back near the center line. 2:55 remaining in regulation. Edgar by a dozen. Manlick along the far sideline. Hamas between the circles. Columbus doesn't have a lot of time to waste. Here's Arneson to the foul line. Comes back out for a three-pointer. No good. And Shea Lehman high for the rebound for Edgar. Ball tipped away, but Manlick on the foul. Third foul on Chris Manlick. And we'll have more Edgar free throws here. Well, Columbus with a spurt got back to within 6 after they were down by 18. But Edgar has regrouped and they lead again by a dozen. Shea Lehman shooting 2 for Edgar. His first try is away and good. 2:35 remaining. Edgar leads 53-40. Trevor Gorman replaces Nick Hamas in the Columbus lineup. As we mentioned, Edgar shooting 57% from the foul line this year, but bettering that stat in this ball game. Second free throw by Lehman is also good. He's got 9 points tonight. Edgar has 3 men in double figures, plus Lehman with 9. It's a 14-point lead for Edgar. Don's basketball. Manlick on the cut down the lane. Kick out to Arneson for a 3 baseline. Missed it. Rebound grab by Lehman. Edgar ball. And they lead by 14. Lehman in backcourt. Lobs across the line to Miller. And Coach Heidmann holding his hands above his head on the Edgar bench. He may want to use the clock here, kill some time, and now we're going to have a call by one of our officials. It appears to be a call against Edgar. And it might be a moving screen on Mershinsky. 4 fouls on Mershinsky, 7th team foul. And the Dons will get free throws out of this one. Chris Arneson, 75% free throw shooter, will get a 1-and-1 for the Dons. Arneson ready. And his first try is away and good. 5 points for Chris tonight. 2:06 remaining in the fourth quarter. Edgar leads 54-41. One more for Chris Arneson. And this shot is away. This one rims out of there, and Umnes rebounds for Edgar. 2 minutes left, and Edgar leads by 13. Umnes lobs across the line to Mershinsky. Hands back to Umnes in the center circle. Now Bielmeyer meets a pass out top, protects the basketball. Gorman on him very tight, and we're going to have a 5-second call on Bielmeyer. Here's Willie Deeringer back in for the Dons, replacing Chris Arneson. Clock down to 1:51 remaining, and Edgar leading by 13. First of all, Neil Zigerlicki will come back for the Dons, despite his 4 personal fouls, and Coach Wilczek now is calling Neil. He's confused, or there is some confusion on the Columbus bench. Zigerlicki has to come in the ballgame. He checked in. And the Dons bring Hurdle off. Columbus moves back to front court, trailing by 13. Gorman on the near side. Can't drive, spins back out front. Now penetrates again down the lane and was held as he attacked the basket. Umnes gets that foul call, his third. He picked up his first 2 very early in the ball game and has not committed a foul since. 8th team foul. Trevor Gorman with a 1-and-1 for the Dons. He is 1 of 1 on the line tonight. Gorman ready. Foul shot up, and it rolls off, and Umnes rebounds. 1:40 remaining. Umnes harassed in backcourt, falls on the floor, and Umnes now fouled. He was triple teamed, and finally a Columbus ball player got a bit too physical there. That'll be Pat Meyer. Second on Pat, and Edgar is in the double bonus, so Umnes will get 2 free throws. He's already 3 of 3 on the foul line tonight. As we mentioned, coming into this ball game, he was only 2 of 9 for the season on the free throw line, but certainly has improved his percentage with his performance tonight. 2 more for Trevor Umnes. He scored 15 against the Dons a year ago, has 12 so far this evening, and makes the first free throw. 1:35 remaining. Deeringer out, Arneson back in. Edgar leads 55-41. Trevor Umnes gets 1 more foul shot for Edgar. Umnes ready. Free throw up, around, and off, and rebounded by Zigerlicki. Ahead to Gorman. Trevor into forecourt to the near side. Kicks out far wing to Meyer. Pat on the drive. Baseline Zigerlicki drives inside and has the ball slapped away, but there was a foul committed on that play. Call against Edgar here. That might be Mershinsky, which would be 5, and that is the call. Mike Mershinsky fouls out. With 1:25 remaining, he'll leave with 12 points tonight.
12 points and 11 rebounds.
Big night for Mike Mershinsky, a key reason for Edgar's success, and he gets a big hand from the Edgar fans in attendance tonight, and well-deserved for his fine play this evening. Colin Unteed will come back in for Edgar. Neil Zigerlicki, in his last 2 games, Neal 13 of 16 on the foul line. And now on top of that, 5 of 6 on the line this evening. Shooting free throws, the first is good. 1:25 remaining, and Edgar on top, 55-42. Neal Zigerlicki with a bonus shot for the Columbus Dons. Makes it. Neal in double figures for the 4th time this year. Dons down by a dozen. They put on backcourt pressure. Michael Miller has the basketball. Double teamed. Has it tipped away by Gorman over the sideline out of bounds. Edgar will inbound once again, this time at the center line with 1:20 remaining. Miller looking to come in and lobs into Umnes in backcourt. He will recross and was held by a Columbus defender.
Zigerlicki, and I think he's out.
And I think you're right, Ed. That will be 5 fouls on Neal Zigerlicki. And Neal fouls out with 1:17 remaining. And he leaves with 10 points. So Neal now with 41 points in the Dons' last 3 ball games. Each of these ball clubs returns to Marywood Conference action next Thursday night. The Edgar Wildcats at home against the Spencer Rockets. Columbus Dons play at Athens next Thursday night against the Blue Jays. Tip-off at 7:30. We will broadcast that game next Thursday evening right here on WOSQ with our pregame report beginning at 7:10. Columbus at Athens next Thursday night. Now Trevor Umnes will shoot free throws for Edgar. Umnes ready. He shoots. It's good. 14 for Umnes tonight. 1:17 remaining. Edgar leads 56-43. One more for Trevor Umnes. This one goes up. It's short. But Unteed flies in for the rebound. And so Edgar retains possession. Lehman along the far sideline, and he's fouled as he passes back to the outside. Dons want to put the Wildcats on the foul line. Pat Meyer on that foul, his 3rd. And Shea Lehman back on the foul line for Edgar, shooting 2 more. And Shea with one of these could be the 4th Edgar man in double figures tonight. His first foul shot is good. For the Dons, Perry Hartle back in for Willie Deeringer. 1:11 remaining. Edgar leads it 57-43. Lehman with a second foul shot. He shoots, and it is good. 11 for Shea Lehman. Edgar by 15. Dons ball. Gorman out front to Manlick. Holds there. Now he'll penetrate. Go down the lane. Jump step. Scoop shot no good. Rebounded by Bielmeyer. And Bielmeyer fouled on the outlet pass. Looks like Manlick, the guilty guy on that one. 4 on Chris. And free throws for Paul Bielmeyer of Edgar. 2 of 2 tonight. Bielmeyer 6 of 7 on the foul line this season. A lot of free throws here down the stretch tonight. And this shot by Bielmeyer, no good. Cody Heil back in for Edgar for Shea Lehman with 60 seconds remaining. And Edgar leading 58-43. By the way, during our post-game report brought to us tonight there at Columbus High School, we'll be visiting with Coach Jim Heidmann of the Edgar Wildcats if his team holds on to win. Second free throw missed. Manlick rebounds, gives to Gorman. Trevor across the timeline on the drive. Jump step, goes up in the lane and throws it in. And the Dons want a timeout here. Timeout Columbus, 52 seconds remaining. And Edgar leads at 58-45. We'll return to Columbus High School right after this. Columbus fans still on their feet, although the Dons trail by 13 with 52 seconds remaining. And Cody Heil bumped in backcourt. Fouled by Pat Meyer, so 4 fouls on Meyer. And Cody Heil gets free throws for Edgar. He is 0 of 2 on the foul line thus far this season, but he'll get a chance to score some points. Looks like the Edgar Wildcats will improve to 6-2 and win their 3rd straight ball game. Cody Heil shooting 2. His first try is too hard. 50 seconds remaining. Edgar on top, 58-45. Here's the second for Cody Heil, and this one is also good, but he's on the foul line. Stepped across the line for a violation, and so that free throw is wiped off. Here comes Columbus back to front court. 50 seconds left. Dons down by 13. Gorman going down the lane all the way. Scoop shot good. Trevor Gorman with another basket and another Dons timeout. Dons take another timeout. 45 seconds remaining. And Edgar on top, 58-47. Back to Columbus High School right after this. Columbus putting on full court pressure. Miller looking to inbound, and he comes into Chanowski. Back to Miller. Has it knocked down. In fact, he was knocked down on a pass up the floor by either Gorman or Manlick. And we'll have a foul here on Trevor Gorman. That will be 5 on Gorman. And so Gorman fouls out with 41 seconds remaining. He leaves with 9 points. And Chris Arneson will come into the ball game. Michael Miller will get 2 more free throws. Lots of foul shots for Edgar here in the fourth quarter. Columbus has had to foul to attempt to get back in the ball game. Miller shooting 2, and the first is short with 41 seconds to play, and Edgar leading 58-47. Miller with a second foul shot. He shoots, and this one is good. Michael Miller has 14 tonight. Edgar by a dozen. Columbus rushing to forecourt. Meyer spins down the lane, kicks out baseline to Hartle. A baseline 3 up and no good. Rebound over the back foul here as Manlick goes over Heil. Cody Heil had inside position, and Manlick on his back. That's 5 fouls on Chris Manlick. So Chris fouls out with 33 seconds remaining, and he leaves with 6 points. And the Dons get Ryan Wenke off the bench, a freshman, and he'll come in. Cody Heil, 0 of 1 on the foul line tonight. He gets 2. And here is Heil's first shot. Good. His first point of the night. 33 seconds remaining. Edgar leads at 60-47. Edgar hits the 60-point mark for the second time this year. Second shot by Heil. Rims out. Arneson rebounds. Ahead to Hartle. Perry moves to front court on the near side. Back out top, Arneson. 25 seconds left. Meyer out top, going down the lane unmolested, but kicks out to Wenke for a 3. It rims and falls out of there, and tipped over the end line by Dieringer. 18 seconds remaining. Edgar will come length of the floor with a 13-point lead. Miller comes into Bielmeyer. He'll hand back to Michael Miller. And Miller, harassed in backcourt by Meyer, comes across the 10-second line. Lobs back far side to Unti. Just 7 seconds remaining. So the Edgar Wildcats killing some time and wrapping up a Merriwood Conference win tonight. The horn blows, and this one is over. Our final score this evening, the Edgar Wildcats 60 and the Columbus Dons 47. We'll have a full recap on our post-game reports coming up next. We're back at Columbus High School. The Edgar Wildcats Merriwood Conference winners tonight as they defeat the Columbus Dons 60-47. Edgar basketball coach Jim Heidmann now joining us. And Coach, congratulations. Your thoughts about this impressive Edgar win this evening?
Well, thanks. I thought we pretty much did what we wanted to do tonight other than their little run they had. But we talked before the game about controlling it in the first half, limiting some turnovers, keeping it close, which we did the first quarter. We were up 1. Went into the second quarter. I thought we did a decent job of running our offense and staying under control to get a 6-point lead at halftime. Then I thought third quarter we did what we wanted to do even more. Pass the ball on, take good shots. And I'm not sure what our shooting percentage was tonight, but I'm sure it was probably better than what we have been shooting. And we pushed it up to 18 at the end of the third. Start of the fourth, they got hot. And that's what happens when you have a team that's going to shoot threes. Sometimes that happens. If they get hot, they can rattle them up in a hurry. And they did that, cut it to 6. But I thought once again the character of our seniors and the leadership that they show came through at the end by being able to hit some free throws, take care of the ball, and to finish the game and end up winning by 13 or so. So it kind of went the way I planned, or the way I'd hoped, I should say. You don't know how it's going. You can't really plan a game, but the way I'd hoped, other than that little run. But yeah, you kind of expect that in basketball that teams are going to run at you.
Well, Coach, your ball club shot just over 50% and about 52%, so certainly you can't complain about that.
No, I can't. Very good for us.
Some things I do want to ask you about. First of all, your ability to get the ball up the floor quickly, even after Columbus made baskets. You got the ball down the floor very, very quickly, got some transition baskets. Tell us about that part of your game tonight.
Well, you know, we run some out-of-bounds plays, and we have guys that are fairly handy and fairly tall. I mean, we're 6'2", 6'1", kind of all the way around. Well, guys can see pretty well, and we do work on it that, hey, you get the ball, you catch, you look, you get it away. I don't care how fast you are, you can always, you can't keep up to the ball when it's passed. If you dribble it, anybody can keep up to you. So our kind of philosophy is get it, catch it, look, get it up the floor. And if we can do that, yeah, it's tough to keep up to it, and that goes with any team. But tonight we did execute that fairly well. We got it up the floor. And I don't think it matters if it's off a missed shot or made shot. If you can get it, get the ball in your hands, get it out, and get it moving before they can set things up, you can get it up the floor.
Well, normally we equate that type of offense with missed shots by the opposition. You get the rebound, hurry the ball down the floor, and you did that tonight. But even after made shots, you were getting the ball down the floor very quickly.
Yeah.
So that was a very impressive part of your game tonight.
Yes.
The other thing to ask you about is the use of what looked like a 1-3-1 zone defense during the first half, which really seemed to stall the Columbus offense in their half-court game. Explain that for us.
Well, we haven't played a whole lot of 1-3-1, but we played it up in Tomahawk over the Christmas break, and they looked pretty good in it. And I know they liked playing it when they were younger. I think we have some guys in the right spots with the long arms that can play that type of defense. I just think our man-to-man has always been pretty aggressive, so I kind of stick with that. But after that Tomahawk game, and we looked good, I thought, well, we'll try it tonight. I knew they were three-point shooters, so I wasn't real sure how the zone's going to go against them. But I thought that we got out on their shooters fairly well in the zone. We extended a little bit. And as I talked before the game, I thought we could probably go one-on-one on the inside defensively, which then allowed us on the perimeter to get out and guard in that zone. So I thought the zone worked pretty well. I was going to do a little more in the second half, and I just thought a man-to-man would be more suitable, and we did get a good 18-point lead with it, but then for some reason, we got a little careless defensively, and they hit shots, but that's kind of how it goes.
And when you have Mike Brzezinski out there on the point of that 1-3-1, that can be pretty intimidating for those young shooters on the other side.
Yes, it can. Guy's got long arms, jumps around pretty well, and can get in the way of a lot of different people out there, so it causes some trouble.
Well, a lot of guys really excelled for you tonight, Coach, but speaking of Mike, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 9 points in the first half, and we thought that his game really excelled for you this evening.
It did. The last time we went out up at Tomahawk, he was 3 for 19 shooting, and he was a little disappointed with that effort. And that's not Mike Brzezinski. So tonight, I think he was a little more concerned about getting some better shots and dropping some shots and get kind of back to where he should be. And I think he's going to be happy with how he played tonight. And then, judging by the way he was in the locker room, he was a little happier than after that Tomahawk game. Even though, all of our guys think team before anything, but obviously you always look at your own stats a little bit.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming by. A nice win for your Edgar ball club. It's a 3-game winning streak now for your Edgar Wildcats. A tough one against Spencer on Thursday night. Their record may not be the best, but they got some real nice ball players in Spencer, so that'll be a tough challenge for your squad as well.
Yes, it will. I'm kind of glad we're playing them at home. We've only had 2 home games so far, so I'm kind of glad to get back home.
All right, well, Coach, congratulations and good luck on Thursday night.
All right, thank you very much.
Edgar High School basketball coach Jim Heidmann with his comments on this one.